Hello again, this is Randy back in the shop today. I'm going to be working on reassembling more of the mill. Um, I got the elevation lead screw here and the nut, and this is the plate that goes on the top. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this put on, and I'm going to check to make sure that the back column of the surface grinder is straight. It's not pinned or anything where it bolts onto the back, so I'm assuming that it's okay, but I'm going to check it anyway. So let's get over there and get started on it. All right, this top piece just bolts on top of here like this. It's got a couple of pins, spring pins, that hold it in place. There's 4 Allen head cap screws that need to go in. I guess there's only 3. I thought there was 4. Okay, let me get a plastic hammer here. Like that. Take this out of the way here a little bit. I just had that kind of sitting there, so I wanted to make sure that the thing didn't tip over backwards. Which I don't think it will, but if it did, that would not be good. Tighten these down good here. Okay, let me swing it around to the back side here and I'll show you what we've got going on there. On the back side here, the lead screw nut for the cross for the that raises and lowers the spindle bolts right here. Harley had his ball stuck, he couldn't get to it, so I got that straightened around. This goes in here like this, and you got some 3 little cap screws that hold this in. Get them started in place. And we'll tap this in. Over on the other side here. tap that home now. There we go. Okay, get this one. Tighten it down good. Now that lead screw can go in from the top. There's a bronze bushing and a thrust washer in the top here. We'll give that a little bit of oil. Put some oil on our lead screw here. Here we go. We'll drop this down in there. All right, it's like that. This lead screw nut here wasn't worn near like the other one. It's got about 10,000th wear on it, which is kind of what I would expect, but not like that other one. Now up at the top, move the camera a little bit here so you can see. At the top here, the crank handle goes in through here, and there's a bevel gear that meshes with this bevel gear. So let's get that put on. A little bit of oil in our bushings here, and on our shaft. This goes in here, like that there, like that. And we got a couple of spacers. They have to go in here. And now we got our bevel gear. Bevel gear's got a taper pin that's got to go in. Got this in the right end. Oh, gotta go in this end. Here we go. Just like that. Get a punch. Drive this in. Like that. I'm gonna put a little grease on this gear. wipe off the excess here. All right, like that. That part of it is done. All right, I think I got this in a good place now. Let's see what happens. All right. Loosen this up again here. All right, I've been playing around with this a bit here. I think I made some headway. It does move a thousandth the other direction when I let it down, but that's just a little bit of clearance, I think, in this spindle in the guides, because it's pulling on one side. But I think that's pretty good. All right, now I can go ahead and torque this column down. I'll tighten the bolts on the column. The three on the right hand side were really tight, about 80 foot-pounds. The bottom one on the left side was at about 80 foot-pounds, and the top two were at about 40. So that's where I'm going to try to torque them back up to, and I'll bring it back and we'll check it for tilt. Continue to bring this up here. I got about a thousandth movement there, and we'll go back the other way. And I don't really know for sure how square this machinist square actually is. It's more of a reference than anything. So I got about 3 thousandths and about 6 inches. It is what it is. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. It really probably won't matter, because when you face the grinder, the wheel is going to be flat to the table. I don't know how you'd fix it, other than you try to shim the column somehow. I guess across that bridge when I get there. If it turns out to be a problem, I'll have to go back in it again and see what I can do. But it's not too bad for the age of the machine, so let's carry on. Well, I made some more progress on putting this surface grinder back together. I got the pulleys on and the motor mounted. I'm not sure what happened with this belt here, because when I went to mount the motor back up, the belt was extremely tight. I mean, it was too tight, what I thought, and I had the adjustment all the way up. So what I ended up doing is I made these 3/4 inch spacers here that go between the motor and the motor mounting plate, and that puts my adjustment about in the middle, and the belt seems about right. Seems like it's almost like the belt when it was off, after I took it off, like it shrunk. I had it on there and I ran it for a bit, and the pulleys were getting hot and that kind of thing, like it was just too tight. So I can always take these spacers out later if the belt gets loose to readjust it, but for now it seems pretty good. I got about probably a 1/2 inch of deflection there in the middle, and I think that's about right. Got the electrical back on with the on-off switch and all that. I did pull that hub off the spindle here. I might have to make a hub remover for that, because I want to make some extra hubs. That way when I mount a wheel, it can stay on the hub permanently. Then all I have to do is just remove this hub and stick the other wheel on with a hub. They sell the hubs, but from my understanding, there's 2 different tapers. There's one that's 3 inches per foot, and there's one that's 2 3/4 inches per foot. And I didn't know what this one had, so I have to measure it and try to figure out what it is, and then I'm going to make an arbor for balancing the wheels and a balancing stand. But I had to get it off, so I used a small gear puller. I got this nut off, used a gear puller, and it popped right off real easy. I just put a little bit of pressure on it and it popped right off, so that was no big deal. This is the hub here, and as you can see, it's got a thread on the inside there, and there'll be a screw that pushes against the spindle of the surface grinder to remove it. I got some air conditioning pulley pullers. I'll show you what that's going to look like. Here's the puller that you use on automotive air conditioning compressors to remove the clutch plate. It's got a thread on the outside there that threads on the inside of the hub, and it's going to have a screw on it, and then it just pushes against the shaft of the compressor to pull that clutch plate hub off. I'm going to make kind of the same sort of thing, but instead of it having a flat end on there, I'm going to make the screw with a point so it centers in the center in the shaft. I got some material here too. This is some 932 bearing bronze. This is what I'm going to use to make my new lead screw nut out of. And I got a piece of 3/4 inch 01 drill rod. This is oil hardening. I don't think I'm going to have to harden this lead screw, because this one here is not hard. And if I did harden it, I would be afraid of it warping. And then what I got, rather than buying a tap for $270 some, I got a carbide internal threading tool, and that will thread right in here. That will just barely reach. It should be just enough to get this threaded up here. But I think for now, what I got to do first is I'm going to make an arbor, make a tool that slides on here with a couple of set screws to put this in my boring bar holding fixture. There's not a lot of length here, and I want to make a longer tool, probably 2 inches long, and put some set screws in it, and the set screws will clamp down in this flat here, and then I can just put that in that arbor. This is my boring bar holding adapter that I use in my quick change tool post, and I'll just make a machine a piece that fits this bore, and that the tool just fits in. I'll probably ream the hole, and then I'll be able to mount it in there like this. And it should be good and solid. This is a output shaft that I cut off of a planetary gear out of an old Power Glide automatic. So it should be some good stuff. So let's see how this turns here. All right, let's give this a go, see how this goes. little bit of chatter there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this for a center and put a center in it. This will go, see how this goes. Got to put a different tool in because my tool is going to hit the center. Still might hit. Shoot. All right, let's try this again. And get a mic here and we'll measure this. All right, I checked the size on this here. It's 1 inch 155. I got to go down to about 1 inch 110, and then it should slide on my tool holder. We should be there. Let's see how this fits. Yeah, fits good. Okay, I'm gonna part this off, and I'm gonna put it back in the chuck, turn it around, and drill it, and we're gonna ream it for 1/2 inch. Okay. All right. Okay, now we'll go with one size under 1/2 inch. That'll be plenty deep enough. All right. Okay, got a 1/2 inch reamer in here. Get to use our floating end mill holder that I used. Slow this down a little bit here. We'll see how that fits. my tool. It wants to go, but it's not. Okay. All right, we'll give this one a try. Yep, that's got it. Beautiful. Okay. Now all I gotta do is drill this, put some set screws in it, and this part will be done. I'll put the set screws, I'll do that off camera. Well, there you have it. Tool's all complete. I put a pair of 1032 set screws in there, and that's going to slide right in here, and that should work for boring my new nut out, threading the new nut for the lead screw. Well, I think this is going to be enough for this part. I'm waiting for the external threading tool to come so I can make the lead screw, and I think I'm going to do that first, and then when I thread the nut, I'm going to use that to be my gauge. Rather than doing, I was going to do the nut first, but I don't think I'm going to do it that way. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.